Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. If you're an old subscriber, thanks for always coming back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic for a lot of us that have relocated from Nigeria, and that is accessing your 25% of your pension contribution. So if this affects you or affect any other person you know, please try to like and share the video to them and listen. It's very important for you to learn a lot of things. A lot of people think the money has gone as per Nigerian factor, but it's something I want to bring out there, that is something you can access. You can have access to it 4 months after relocating, 4 months after resignation from your organization is something you can access. So sit back, carry your pen and your paper because you're going to need it, right? All right, so to start with, there's anything that is good especially in our country, we should sell it out. It's not everything that is bad. There are a lot of systems that work, a lot of things are working, and this is something I was doing. This was an industry I was in before I relocated to Canada. This is something I was doing even before I left. I've helped a lot of people to not really help, because you don't really need help. I've been in a position to I have a lot of people that have applied for their pension when they relocated, and they got their money within a month, max a month and some weeks, depending on 1 or 2 things. But this is something that happens. I personally have not accessed my own. I don't want to access it now. I have plans for it later, because once you access, the money will finish. So, and the exchange rate between Naira and CAD is nothing to write home about. So I just don't want to access it now. When I'm ready for it, I'm going to have access to it. But I know a lot of people, once they clocked 4 months after relocating, they applied for it and they've gotten their pension already. They finish eating the money. I know a lot of people, they finish that money. So for me personally, I have not accessed it, but I know once I'm ready, just for me to apply, I'm going to get my money within a month. So now, a lot of us worked with organizations that contributed pension for us. So the pension system in Nigeria is contributory, as you all know. You as the employee contribute, and the employer also contributes for you. Every month, every quarter, you get to receive alert email of your balance in your retirement savings account. That money is safe. Don't think this money is gone. As per is it not Nigeria, I cannot have access to it. No, this is something this is where I have worked for the past 13 years, and it works. So for those people that don't know, I worked with Stanbic IBTC pension managers while in Nigeria, and there are over 20 different pension administrators. So a lot of us belong to one or the other, but majority belongs to Stanbic IBTC pension because they have the largest market share in Nigeria. Yeah, we still have the largest share. All right, jokes apart. So this video is going to apply to a lot of people, because I know most of them work with Stanbic, have their pension with Stanbic IBTC pension managers. But even if your pension is not with Stanbic, it doesn't matter, because the requirement is, it cuts across all the companies. It's the same for all the companies. The requirement, it's just the processing time that differs from one company to the other, but the requirement is the same, so it applies to everybody. And for those people that have received their pension, sorry, this video is not for you. You've eaten your own pension already. So those that are about to leave, let me start with you guys. Those that are about to relocate to Canada, if you have not left yet, what the best advice I will give to you now is to make sure you do your data recapture exercise. Just do that one and relax. When you relocate, you don't have problem. Why am I saying this? The data recapture is a process that helps you to align your information on your pension account, on your profile, with your with your information on your national ID card. That's with NIMC. The national ID card you have, the information has to align. What are the informations? Your name, Most people before relocating change their names because of documentation and all that. Most of, like me, I didn't change my name to my husband's name till when I started this process of relocation. I was still using my father's name, so I changed it. My surname on my national ID card was, no, in my own case it was even my, I knew I was going to change my name eventually, so when I did my namesake card, my national ID card, I used my husband's name. But there are a lot of people that their national ID card is in their father's name, and then eventually they change their names to their husband's name, so they had to go to namesake to update their names. So you find out that there's a lot of discrepancy between your names and date of birth. Those are the two main things. And once you have those two discrepancies, your data recapture exercise prolongs. You know how it is to go to namesake to update your date of birth. I don't know how it is now, but I know as when I left like 8 months ago, it takes less than 2 months to update your name or your date of birth. You don't have that time, especially when you relocate. It's harder for you to do your data recapture, especially if you have name issues and date of birth issues. So if you see anybody complaining that they are yet to access their pension while they relocated, if you ask them deeply, then those people have issues with their names or their date of birth. Even when you're in Nigeria, it is very hard to update it, not to even talk of when you've left. So if you are planning to japa, please just go and do your data recapture with your organization, and if you've done it, then you're okay. And if you've done it and you still made changes to your name or your date of birth, please go and update it, because it's going to affect you when you want to apply. The process to receive your 25% of your pension is supposed to be seamless if all these things have been put in place. That's for you if you've not left Nigeria. So if you've left Nigeria and you've not done your data recapture, contact your pension fund administrator and let them know you want to complete your data recapture exercise. They're going to send the checklist to you. The requirements for those, so now if you worked in the private sector or the public sector, sorry, you have different requirements, almost the same, but for those in public sector, it's more, you have more requirements. So you need to get pay slips for some periods, like from 2004, 2007, 2009, 2014, then 2019. You need those pay slips and record of service and all those stuff. Government now. I'm going to put the requirements or the links of the requirements in my description box. But for those that worked in the public sector, it is easy. To do your data recapture, mostly you need your appointment letter from where you're working, your passport photograph, your means of identification, which is mostly your national ID card, which also doubles as your proof of address. So the address on your national ID card is the one you will fill on the form. They will give you a form to fill and you submit for your data recapture. Data recapture is not supposed to take more than 24 hours, depending on your PFAs. As for Stanbic, it doesn't take more than 24 hours to get. You get notification. If there's a problem, you get notification that your data recapture has been rejected based on date of birth or for name or something. But if it is okay, everything's fine, within 24 hours, you get your data recapture done and you're fine. So once you do your data recapture, for those that have those with private sector, it's easier. Once you've done your data recapture, then you apply for your 25%. It's pretty much the same requirement for your 25%. So now, if you worked in maybe 2-3 different organizations and all of them contributed pension for you, the 25% is going to be from the total amount you have on your pension. So the calculation is going to be as at when you apply, because the value changes every day. So they're also going to give you a form to fill. Like for Stanbic, you fill the data recapture form, you fill the 25% application form, then you fill a consent form. That consent form is to say, okay, I agree to take 25% of my pension contribution, blah blah blah, and the amount will be stated there, and you sign and submit. So if you've done the data recapture before, you just do the 25% application. But if you've not done the data recapture, you're going to do the 3 at the same time. So for those in public sector, once you've done your data recapture, you also just submit 25% application and Those are the requirements: just your passport, appointment letter, your means of identification, your and also another means of identification that helps to prove your address. Yeah, I think so. I think I wrote them down. Then for the 25% application also, you need your exit letter to show that you've left. The essence of the exit letter is to show you've left your organization and the date you left, because you cannot apply for your 25% until 4 months. 4 months of to show that you're no longer working, no contribution entered into your pension account. So that is the essence of the exit letter. So those are what you need. Then declaration of age documents. Some PFS need it, some don't. Some use the NIMC, the National Identification Date of Birth. That NIN slip is very, very important. It's very, very, very important in Nigeria. It has been made so important now that your bank accounts, your pension, a lot of things depend on that. So the information you have on your NIMC is usually what everybody goes with. Sorry, my microphone has gone down. Okay, so now for the purpose that you've left, for the fact that you've left Nigeria, they know you cannot walk into the organization to make your application. For those in Stanbic IBTC, you send an email to pension solutions at I don't forget, pension solutions at stanbicibtc.com. I'm going to write it down on the screen. You send an email requesting. So first of all, most people with Stanbic IBTC, you're supposed to have the mobile app. You download the app, the Stanbic IBTC pension app, where you see your balance, your details, your everything. So on that app, you go to the benefit application button, you click on it, and then you see the requirements. All these things I've listed is listed down there. Then you can even click an option there for the requirements to be sent to your email. So the requirement of the data recapture, the requirement for the 25%, and that of the form, the consent form, will be sent to your email. You can print it out, fill up, scan, and send back to them. It's that easy. It's that easy. You submit, and that's all. You sign, and your signature again has to be what you submitted when you registered. If not, you're going to come back with signature irregularity. I had that issue of signature, and before I left, I changed my signature because I was always having irregular signature. And I always see a lot of people that come to apply for their benefit, maybe all these old men, retirees, they signed their signature in 2004 when they registered, and they are coming to retire in 2022, and they cannot sign their signature. They are required to go to the bank, to the court, to go and do affidavit to show that I cannot sign my signature, all this blah blah, long process. So I just borrowed myself since, and I changed my signature before leaving Nigeria. So now my signature is very, very, very simple. So you submit all that, and then you wait. For Stanbic, I don't know for other PFAs, every step of the way you get notification on your email. Yeah, your pension, your application has been received. It has been sent to Pencom for approval. It has been sent to your custodian to credit your bank. You get notification every step of the way. You don't need anybody to help you follow up in Nigeria, or you send your brother to go and be, or you need somebody to be working in Stanbic. No, you don't need all that. As long as your application is tight, is filled well, you don't have issue with a date of birth, discrepancy of signature, name issues, spelling issues, and all that, the application is going to be paid. It will be paid within a month, max 2 months, right? So it's something you should know, that this money is actually accessible. The money has not gone. It's there for you. So a lot of people have contributed 15 million, 20 million. You can have 25% of that amount to use to settle down here in Canada. And it's not compulsory for you to access it. If you don't access it, like someone like me, if you don't access it, your money is still going to be there. It's still going to be growing. I check my application real time, my pension account real time. I see how it grows. And I'm confident that yes, this money is there. Whenever I need it, I can access it. So if you don't need it, you can leave it. So people ask that after accessing 25%, the remaining 75%, when am I going to have access to it? Just leave that part. So if you're in Nigeria, if you access 25% of your pension until when you're 50 and retired, from 50 and above and retired, you can have access to the balance of the pension. So now, as at when I left, I don't think there's any difference now. But if you reach the age of 50, you can now start receiving your pension, your balance as pension. So the balance is going to be programmed for you. Every month you'll be receiving a certain amount as your pension payment as a retiree. But if the amount is less than a certain amount, I'm going to put it on the screen, the balance is going to be paid to you as a whole. But most people, they program the remaining 25%, and then you'll be receiving your balance as the balance will be spread for you, and you'll be receiving it as monthly pension. So when you're here in Canada, every month you'll be receiving your pension remittance from your PFA, your pension fund administrator. So you don't have access to it again until when you attain the age of 50. So there are some people that left Nigeria and they are already above the age of 50. They are considered as a retiree. You are considered as a retiree already. Once you're 50, you're no longer working. You can now go and apply for your pension as a retiree. So in this case, you're not going to be paid 25%. So most time you'll be considered as a retiree, and the benefit is going to be from 25% to 50% of your balance. So there are different ways to calculate how much you are eligible for, but most people actually get 50% of the balance paid to you as a lump sum. We call it the lump sum. Then the balance is going to be paid to you as monthly pension. So I know somebody that before he left, he attained the age of 50, he applied for his pension. Of course, he showed his exit letter that he has retired, he's no longer working, he's relocating. They paid him 50% of the balance, and as he's here now, every end of the month he receives monthly pension from Nigeria, from his PFA, and it comes into his account every month. So it's actually something you can access. You don't have any fear to say this is Nigeria, you cannot have access to the money. No, this is something that is happening. It's accessible. Nigeria is not that bad. There are a lot of systems are working. There's another money that I'm thinking of, that this money that they've been deducting, can we have access to it that I've relocated? That's the National Housing Fund. Right from my first day of my job in 2010, they've been taking out that, no matter, even though it's small, but it's still our money. Now that we've relocated, how are we going to have access to that money? Or is it until when we retire we'll have access to it? So something I'm going to investigate on, and if you know any way of accessing, you can put in the comment section, or if it is going to be to retirement or something, let us know in the comment section, please. So I hope I've been able to educate you on your retirement savings account in Nigeria. I've been able to let you know that you can access 25% of the balance 4 months after you resign. 4 months after the resignation, the effective date on your resignation letter, you can have access to it via email, via the pension administrators website, or the app. You can access the 25%. You don't need to know anybody there. You don't need to call anybody, as far as you know that you submitted the right application. And one big warning I've given is for people that have not left Nigeria, go and do your data recapture first. And if you know that you have date of birth issues, name discrepancy, please take it very seriously, because it's easier to resolve it while you're in Nigeria than to resolve it when you are here in Canada. And if you are here in Canada and you know that you have issue of date of birth, name issue, you didn't do your data recapture before leaving, then just shelf the issue of 25% first and apply for your data recapture from here, and resolve all that before you can apply for 25%. Contact your PFA, go to their website, check their customer care number, the customer care email, and start the process. It's advisable to start the process when you're not broke. It's not when you need the money to pay house rent in Canada that you remember you have 25% to access in Nigeria. No, it's easier if you don't really need the money now. When you're not pressed, it's easier. Max is a month plus, depending on your PFA. For the company I worked for, which is Tamika Business Pension Managers, it's within a month or highest 6 weeks, 5 weeks, depending on maybe the workflow, the number of applications that come in, or PENCOM, that's the National Pension Commission, or so the number of days it takes them to approve your application. All right, so if you've watched up to this point, you're the real G. Thanks for watching, and thanks for always coming back. If you're here to subscribe, please subscribe now. Don't want to be listening to content like this. Don't want to be seeing this fine face. Yeah, it's fine now. Please subscribe, please like this video, please share. Do have a nice day. Bye for now.